about the transition process, weeks 4, 5, and 6. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and I've been documenting my healthy lifestyle following my 160-pound weight loss using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. I am passionate about transition, I am passionate about maintenance, and that is what I focus on now on my channel. However, I have lots of information about the actual weight loss process. My reality checks show you my transition all the way from through my 160-pound weight loss. I've got lots of healthy recipes that are great not just for people who are trying to lose weight, but for people who are trying to be healthy as well. Plus lots of tips and tricks and fueling ideas for those of you who are on the Optavia program. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up. It is just a small way that you can support me and support my channel. It lets YouTube know that they need to put my videos more visible to people, and I would love that. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing and sharing my videos with your friends as well. As I said, I am very passionate about the transition process. I loved the weight loss process, and I am so grateful for the 5-in-1 program with Optavia because it really did help me to lose 160 pounds. And there is, truth be told, lots of information out there on the internet about the 5-in-1 or about the weight loss portion. If you are on the 5-in-1 program or on one of Optavia's weight loss programs, your coach got you into a private Facebook group that is all people from your specific coaching group. And there are also lots of other Optavia pages on Facebook. There are lots of YouTube channels that have videos about the Optavia program. So there's a lot of support out there for weight loss, the weight loss portion of the program. But when it comes to transition, if you're not a reader and you're not going to read the Life Book and Habits of Health, which I do highly recommend, if you're not going to read those, there's not a lot of support specifically for people who are just going through transition and maintenance. So I do have a Facebook group that is called Transition to Living. That one is specifically for just moving from weight loss into maintenance and also beyond. It is not necessarily specific to Optavia. However, that is the focus of the transition portion of the program. But the principles of transition actually apply no matter what weight loss program that you use. Remember, weight loss is just a vehicle to get you from one place to another, to get from one weight to a healthy weight. And once you get to that healthy weight, you need to get out of the car and you need to live your life. And you need to get off of that weight loss plan. So no diet is intended for you to live on for forever. It is time to learn how to add things back into your life, what you can add and what for you is not going to work to add back. And that's all part of working through a transition program and easing your way into maintenance and finding what you can eat to maintain that weight loss and to live the rest of your life in a healthy way. So I like to use a visual aid. I think it's really helpful for people to see what the plan looks like. And when we talk about the Optavia 5-in-1 program, we're talking about Optavia Fuelings. And so this is a 6-cup muffin tin, and I just use it to represent the 5-in-1. So in this this muffin tin, I have 5 fuelings and one, this is not really a lean and green. You would not count this as a lean and green, but it's a can of food and it just helps me to visualize the meal. So this is 5 fuelings and a lean and green. All right, so this is what the plan looks like while you are on the 5-in-1. This is your vehicle that gets you from your unhealthy weight to your healthy weight. Once you get to your healthy weight, it's time to transition and slowly move week by week from this plan to your lifetime, the rest of your life. And so I've done videos for each of the weeks so far, but just let me reiterate really quickly. This is normal, 4, 5, and 1. Once you get to transition, you've reached your goal weight. The first week of transition, the only thing that you're doing is adding in a cup of vegetables. So I have 2 half-cup portions here, and I might add 1 to this fueling here, and I might add 1 to this fueling here. So I've added, now you could add it all together as 1 cup if you want to. For me, it worked out better to divide it and add it. The reason why I'm adding it here and not putting it here is because I want to spread out. I got to start training my body that I'm going to get more than just 100 calories each time that I eat. Also keep in mind that you need to continue to eat 6 times a day, 6 small meals or a few snacks and a few meals, however you want to break it up. But while you're in transition, we're just adding to the fueling. So this was week 1. Week 2, we removed a fueling. So I'm just going to take this one out, and we added in a cup of fruit. Now, because I took out a fueling, this first week, I just added the fruit all in that one spot where I took out a fueling. And it could be anywhere. You could have removed any fueling. There's no magical thing about it being this one right here, but just for demonstration purposes, this is what I did here. All right, so that's week 2. Still 4 fuelings, still a lean and green, still got my 1 cup of veggies, and now I've got a cup of fruit. Last week was week 3. That's what I showed you, week 3, and that is adding a cup of dairy. Now this is slightly more than a cup of dairy, I understand that. It's really easy to demonstrate this. And I also talked about the fact that this is about maybe 2 tablespoons more than a half of a cup. So I was not going to waste 2 tablespoons. So you can either get a big container if you want to do yogurt and measure exactly a half a cup, or I just ate one of these as a half cup and then another one as another half cup. The way that I did this was, again, I divided it up and I spread it out. And this, at this point, I'm putting that back in just a second, but I also spread out my fruit, and I put 1 yogurt with fruit as my first fueling. And then I stuck another one somewhere else during the day with another fueling. So I am at 4 fuelings, 1 lean and green, a cup of veggies, a cup of fruit, a cup of dairy. Now it could be, you could have a cup of milk if you want, if you're a milk drinker, if you wanted to do that. One of the reasons why I didn't add milk in is that's a trigger food for me. I love milk. I used to drink a big glass of milk before I went to bed every night. And so I just wanted to not go back to that because I don't want something that's triggering for me to gain weight back. This is where we were last week. 4 fuelings, 1 lean and green, a cup of fruit, a cup of vegetables, and a cup of dairy. So now we are moving to week 4. This is actually the same schedule that you will follow for weeks 4, 5, and 6. So basically we're changing something up here, and we're gonna maintain that level for 3 weeks. And that really gives your body some time to adjust. Now, speaking of that adjustment, I will also say there are a lot of people who will take each week of the transition process and do it over 2 or 3 weeks instead of moving each week to something new. If you had a lot of weight that you lost, if you were on the plan for a long time, it took you, 9 months, 2 years, 3 years to lose the weight, then you might want to go a little bit slower through the transition process. Now, I was on the 5 and 1 for 67 weeks. I did a week in a week, and I was fine, but that doesn't mean you won't be. People who are diabetic, especially, I know that's a recommendation for them to take 2 weeks for each week, if not more. So just listen to your body, and you'll know when it is right. So let's talk about weeks 4, 5, and 6. When we get to weeks 4, 5, and 6, we're actually going to remove another fueling. I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to drop this one down here just for demonstration purposes, because those bags take up a lot of space. All right, so I've removed a fueling, so I'm down to just 3 fuelings, and I'm going to add something in. So I am going to add, and I'm just going to shift some things around here a little bit. Well, I'm going to leave it like that. So I am going to add in a serving of whole grains. Now there are lots of options in the guide. In the guide, there's the exchange list. So if you look at the 3 and 3 guide, you'll find that information there. If you want to know where any of the program guides are, go to the Optavia app and go to your account and go to program guides, and you can scroll down, you can find the 3 and 3 guide. If you have the new Optavia 5 and 1 guide, the exchange list is included in there. You can find that guide also in the program guides in the app. So I'm just using quinoa here as demonstration. There are lots of grain options that you can do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a serving of grains to my day. And I might add it here. It doesn't matter where I add it. I'm going to add it somewhere. Now, if you have added extra activity, so you started to up your healthy movement, this is a time where you're going to add 4 to 6 ounces of lean protein to your day as well. So again, this is just demonstration. And this has 5.4 ounces dry weight of tuna once it's drained. So this would be a great option, extremely high in protein, and a great option if you're looking to add protein to your day. So what I kind of did with this was I would add these two things together with a vegetable and kind of do more of a lunch. So really it was kind of more in this spot right here. And like a half a cup of vegetables, the tuna and a grain. Sometimes I did the wasa crackers. This is also where I would tell you to be a little bit careful, watch your weight. This is during this time, because you're transitioning, you want to make sure that you're not adding something back to your diet that your body does not respond well to. So, you know, I would start with 1 grain, make sure that it is a good, solid, whole grain. I would avoid, this is me personally, I would avoid pasta, I would avoid rice. A wild rice is probably okay, a brown rice is probably okay. White rice is actually almost never a good option, and you can read more about that, but white rice is really not healthy for you. Quinoa is a great option. There are lots of great options that are listed that you can just find what works best for you. But I would start with 1 grain and stick with that for a couple of days and just see what your weight does. And if you are staying stable or still losing a little bit, that's totally fine. It's not unusual for people to still lose weight in transition in the first part of maintenance because you're still not quite eating the number of calories that your body needs to maintain its current weight. So it's possible that you might still lose. I continued to lose through transition and the first part of maintenance as well. Not everybody does that, but I happen to do that. Just keep an eye on what your weight does. And then maybe after a few days, try another grain option and see how that goes. I've also had people say they're not adding grains back at all because they didn't eat grains before. Totally fine. Same with dairy. I've talked about that. If you're not a dairy person, lactose intolerant, you just don't like dairy, don't add dairy back into your diet. It's not like you have to add these things in if you didn't eat them before. So this is weeks 4, 5, 6 of transition. I wanted to encourage you, first of all, I talked about the fact that this weight loss is a vehicle. It is what gets you from your heavy weight, your unhealthy weight, to a healthy weight. It is like driving a car. I said that already. Think about it. You're on the interstate. You're just going, right? You're losing weight. Transition is the exit ramp. You are getting off of that freeway. You are moving to your new destination of a healthy life, right? We are moving houses. We got rid of that old house that was at the heavy weight, that was at the unhealthy weight, living that unhealthy lifestyle. And we bought a new house and we're headed to that new house and we're taking the freeway. We lose that weight. We get the exit ramp. That's the transition process. And now we've got to move into our new house. And so next week, I'm going to talk to you about the maintenance plan. How do I get to my new house? How do I live in my new house? Because I'm not going to live in my car. I'm not going to live on that diet plan anymore. No diet was intended, no weight loss program, I shouldn't say no diet, no weight loss program was intended for you to stay on it forever. It's time to get off. Now, there are a lot of people who continue to make fuelings part of their maintenance program, and I will talk about that next week. That is not my choice, but it is the choice of a lot of people, and if the convenience of fueling packets is helpful to you and it works for you, by all means, you can continue to do that. I have never been a convenient food person. I've never been a packaged food person. And so I choose to move from eating fuelings to eating whole foods, and not from Whole Foods because that's too expensive, but I do buy whole fruit food sources, and I will talk to you about that as an option for maintaining your weight loss. I am passionate about helping people. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. I am not a medical professional. I am just a fellow citizen who has worked really hard to lose 160 pounds. I have worked very hard to get to my new house, and I plan to live in this house for the rest of my life. And that is going to involve some work. I am well aware of that. I cannot go back to my old house. I can't go back to my old neighborhood. I left that neighborhood. I am now here, and I'm going to live in this healthy body. And I am finding ways to enjoy what I eat and to live in a healthy way. And so I'm very passionate about sharing that with others. Please leave me comments in the comments box below. Let me know what is helpful to you, what information you feel like you need more of in order to support your weight loss, to support your transition process, or to support your maintenance process. And I am happy to help you out. Another word about the Optavia program. I am an Optavia health coach. However, I do not take any more clients. The ones that I have will gradually be hopefully reaching their weight loss goals and transitioning off of the program as well. And I will not be taking on new clients beyond that. I prefer to help people for free. I just prefer to have conversations with people who are really excited about what they're doing in their lives, and I just want to be that kind of a support. So if I can come alongside you and support you and not take you from your coach, because that's not at all what I want to do, please just reach out to me. I'm happy to give you information from my own perspective. I do rely heavily on the information that Optavia provides in their books as well, because I believe that what they have works. It clearly works. And I just want to further encourage people to follow the program, and if you do, you can be successful. So I look forward to talking to you next week about the maintenance process, and until I see you next time, please live in the light.